Recently, the World Gold Council's 2025 survey revealed that more than 90% of surveyed central banks expected total global gold reserves to increase. Economic and geopolitical uncertainties make it the asset of choice, currently up 27% year to date. Equally, multinational companies and high net worth individuals are showing a growing interest in bullion, and StoneX, with its unique position on the metals market, has a crucial role to play here. With us today is DeMarzi, StoneX Head of Metals for America. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Fiona.
So Alex, could you tell us first, what is the current state of the global reserves and why do you think gold reserves will continue to increase?
Sure, of course. So, I mean, as some of your previous guests have said, gold reserves currently make up about 20% of the reserves for central banks. But what we've seen in the last few years really has been an increase not only in the central banks, but also part of the private reserves. So high net worth individuals, companies who are starting to increase their reserves because they understand, the world is changing. The geopolitics of it are becoming more and more interesting, and you have to diversify a bit. And I think gold is definitely playing an increased role in the reserves.
And the World Gold Council's 2025 survey showed a sustained interest from central banks for gold. But there's also growing appetite from international companies and high net worth individuals who also want to benefit from gold's performance.
Sure.
But it isn't difficult for them to get hold of gold, right?
No, not at all. I think, it's a common misconception that gold in itself is difficult to transport or difficult to utilize, right? But for us, if you have gold in, for example, places like Zurich, like Hong Kong, like New York, like London, it's a central hub. So in order for you to acquire it, it is very simple. As long as you're within one of the, main depositories or one of the trusted custodians of gold, it's easy for you to acquire it, easy for you to sell it, easy for you to transfer it. So, and we understand, that everybody's bullish gold currently because of everything that's going on. But I think regardless of whether you're bullish or bearish, if you look at the trajectory of gold over the last 40 years, I mean, it's a yield of 7%. Right? And over the last 20, it's near 11%. So I know people always say, oh, gold doesn't have a yield. You're not getting paid anything on your currency. But in reality, it actually does when compared to the value of what it was, 20, 30, 40 years ago. So.
And then talking about storage, earlier this year in April, StoneX Vault in New York has been granted CME registered depository status for gold and other precious metals. Tell us a bit about this.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, it's part of our overall strategy for metals in general. We always wanted to have a depository, and this allows our clients to deposit gold with us, to deliver gold into the exchange, to also utilize this as a trusted place to store their wealth, right? And like I said earlier, once you have gold in these types of depositories, if you, let's say, you want to buy a house, okay, and you have $300,000 worth of gold stored in our vault, you can convert that gold into the cash, whether it's dollars, euros, pesos, any other currency you can think of, within a 24-hour period and make that payment. So what we say to our clients, and what we've seen a lot more of, is that gold is now becoming a storage currency, right? Nobody is debating that dollar will continue to be the transactional currency. It will continue to be that for a very long time, in my opinion, because nothing can replace the dollar in that regard. But with regards to storing your wealth, gold is a perfect alternative. It's been the storage of wealth for longer than the dollar's been around, and most currencies have been around, so there's no reason why you can't use that now. And by storing it in a depository like ours, or there are others, but we're one of the 11 CME approved depositories, it gives you flexibility to and the liquidity to use that gold constantly. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for sharing that with us.
Of course.
For more videos like this, please do like and subscribe.